Welcome back to Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using hypnosis to achieve remarkable things. If you've just joined us, I have for my second two guests. The first one is Jen Coffin. Now, Jen is an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy, and she has with her her very special guest and client, Chloe. Chloe came in to visit Jen for sound healing and hypnotherapy. Please help me welcome my guests. Chloe, I want to start with you. Tell me what was going on.
Well, I initially went and saw Jen for several reasons. I was feeling like I was having a lot of problems with my creative flow. As an independent artist, I'm constantly touring, I'm doing my own managing, my own booking, and then on top of that, I have to be an artist and create. And I was embarking on making an album with 3 of my projects at that time. And between touring for 3 months straight on maybe little to no sleep every night, I was just really finding it like I was having a very intense case of writer's block. And Jen suggested sound therapy to me. We did several techniques, including singing bowls, tuning forks, and just sound immersion therapy. The very first time I did it, we used a crown chakra bowl, and my eyes began watering like profusely. But I guess the long-term effects have been just an increased ability to manage my time. I'm feeling like a lot more energized between my like obligatory events, in so much that I can actually sit down and be creative rather than, you know, just crumple up and go to sleep in my spare time, which was like, you know, as an indie artist, it's very important that I maximize my time, and it was just such a huge issue initially.
It's not that uncommon for people who are very artistic, and you're a musician, to have a hard time balancing the creative side with the business side, especially if you're independent and you're in your own business, you're doing your own promotion, writing your own stuff, doing your own marketing, making your own schedule. And of course, it makes sense that you, Jen, would introduce sound therapy to this wonderful musician. I've heard of sound therapy, and I've heard of hypnotherapy, but I've never heard of the two combined. I mean, when I think of sound therapy and hypnotherapy, I figure, I do sound therapy, I talk. But I don't think that's what you mean. For the people out there who don't understand it, what is sound therapy or sound healing?
Yeah, I can explain. Well, basically, science tells us that everything is in a constant state of motion. And on a cellular level, atoms are made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons that are constantly hitting each other back and forth, creating a frequency, a sound. This is a very basic state of a construct of physics. We know that it's been proven that motion creates frequency, and frequency creates sound. So inevitably, everything is music. Now, everyone knows that music can affect your mood. And well, when we measure sound wave, we actually measure their velocity in terms of hertz. So currently, our Western music is tuned to 440 hertz. And
now, does that, I'm going to stop you there and ask you some questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a layperson. I know I can speak loud and I can speak soft and I can sing not at all. When you hear about these kinds of terms, does it resonate with you when you talk about the different kind of, give me that word again, hertz?
Hertz.
And how sound, we know can affect mood, but how it can help regulate the energy through the body. Did this resonate with you?
Yeah, well, generally in Western music, everything is tuned to 440, and it's actually something that has been discovered that if you attune to 432 hertz, it moves the particles in a more harmonious way, like the ratios are different. So, I mean, in my own work, like I begin to tune my guitar to 432 hertz.
Based on the work that you did with Jen?
Based on the work that we did, because it was so successful in bringing, like, just changing my entire vibration. I mean, I was just so low energy between, like, I was just, I mean, it was basically destitute. Like, I was constantly traveling, jet lagged. Like, I couldn't find, and this just really increased my vibrations so much and changed my life so much that I wanted to actually share it with the masses because it was so important to me.
Well, you know, research is my co-producer right over here. This is research. And so I want to know the practical side. when you got the sound therapy, and in a moment we're going to talk about how to combine it with hypnosis and the hypnotic trance. So when you got the sound therapy combined with hypnosis, and you learned about 432 hertz, see, I'm a fast study, and then you started changing the way that you did your music. What did it do? We know it increased your energy and your ability to replenish, but what did it do to, how was it received by the public? How did it impact you creatively, and where is it taking you now?
Well, you know, we'll see, because I'm actually about to release the album now. On September 30th, I'm about to release a song that is tuned to that. But it's just kind of like it's a well-known thing. I mean, maybe you can talk a little bit more about it, because I'm not the expert.
Well, wait. Before you make her talk about it, make you talk about it. When you shared it with people, the people that you trust, the people that you trust in music, the people that you trust personally, what was their response to this music at 432 hertz?
I felt as if they were actually paying attention more. It seemed like they were just initially, it really grabbed people. I mean, like Jimi Hendrix used to tune his guitar like a half step flat and then play really hard, and it would bend out of tune into this like weird scale that probably was aligned with some sort of interesting ratio. And you find that like just tuning things a little lower can totally changes the mood of the song, and it just really like affects people visibly.
It absolutely does. And you know what? You're preaching to the choir. Jimi Hendrix, that's my generation. So, Jen, how would you combine sound healing with the hypnotic trance state?
Well, we start off with sound healing. We start off with some basic sounds. We start at 432 and then kind of climb our way up. And each sound actually resonates with a different part of the body. So we start at the bottom and work our way up, and we go all the way to the crown and connect in with our higher self, with consciousness, and become a real solid channel for our creativity and expressing it freely.
So I need to talk hypnotherapy language.
Yes.
Are you telling me you're using sound as not only an induction, but a form of a progressive relaxation?
Exactly.
To change the sensation of the body to being physically relaxed and mentally alert?
Yes.
And being a channel to creativity?
Yes, and more so releasing emotional and physical blockages through the spectrum of sound. So as we raise the sound, you notice different parts of the body relaxing, and you notice heat, the temperature growing in your body. And it's a really interesting transformation that I can demonstrate a little for you today.
Oh, I'd like to see it. But first, what was it like for you to use music to achieve a trance state? What did that feel like for you?
I mean, it felt natural in the sense that like everything I'm doing is always involving music, but to tune to that, it was just, I just felt really aligned, you know, like I felt, you know, all the anxiety that was just plaguing me just kind of, I mean, and it was consistent throughout many sessions, but after a while, and including it like in my daily meditation too, it was just like, my anxiety was just like virtually wiped away. It was amazing. Amazing.
And now we have someone in the alpha or even theta state using sound. Do you then put in post-hypnotic suggestions?
Absolutely.
What kind?
It could be for really anything you want. We worked with Chloe for procrastination and some other different things. And
we did the anchor thing.
And we did an anchor as well.
Tell me about it. I want to hear Chloe say it. I want to hear what Chloe. I know what an anchor is. I want to hear what Chloe says.
An anchor. She asked me to visualize my grandmother and someone who, you know, she's someone who very much inspired me and makes me feel stronger. You know, makes me feel much more grounded when I think about this person. So now I pretty much always wear this ring. It's my grandmother's ring. And whenever I'm feeling like really a lot of anxiety over a task, or like it's just mounting difficulty, or if I'm just thinking like, oh, I'll just do it later, I see this and there's this weird conditioned thing, like, once again, I'm not a hypnotherapist, but it's like I feel it pulling me to complete my task, but like joyfully, not like in a stressful way, in a way where I'm just like, I relish in like getting things done early. I'm not always saving them for like little spaces between things, you know?
You know, two things that you said really resonate with me, because that's a musical term, maybe, I don't know. That if you are clearing out the channels, you're clearing out all the gook, and then you are connecting with an ancestor. Isn't that like connecting with your past, your heritage, your legacy, and you know who you were, you know who you are, you know who you're going to be. And then you put that in, that's connected to, well, moving forward. And is that what it feels like when you look at that ring?
Yeah, it really does. It really does. It like inspires like a lot of positive emotions now, whereas for me, like task completion before, it was like inspiring a lot of negative emotions, and then like, you know, subconscious, like, oh, how can I finish all these things? Like thinking too far ahead without being able to complete the task at hand, you know.
And the ring is a symbol of the grandmother, and the grandmother is who you accessed in hypnosis. Is it really grandma, or is it just a metaphor?
Yes, it's both.
Do you agree?
I do.
It is the consciousness and the metaphor and the symbol. And then we have something physical that we can touch and see.
It's very powerful that way.
It makes so much sense. So, I want to go back to the benefits because I'm a very practical person. Tell me about your time management.
Well, like I said, you know, I'll be on tour, and you know, I'll have 3 hours between sound check and the show, and it's very important that I use that time to be creative, because otherwise, when I get off tour, I'll have like an allotted amount of time to create new music before, you know, I have to begin going to the studio and releasing it, and leaving everything to a tiny window, especially when you're talking about creativity, is just like a death sentence, because you can't force it. You know, it's this living, breathing thing, and if I can take the time to just like joyfully complete that task and just joyfully enter into a creative state, like at the drop of a hat, or you know, when someone plays an A, 330, 432, you know, like if I can do that on call, that's like probably the most useful thing that I can know, you know.
Well, you want to know what everybody else wants to know? That's for the creativity. What is it like doing the day in, day out business stuff, like collecting your receivables and sending out your invoices? How is that?
Well, it's good because I've been able to like divide the parts of my brain a little bit better, you know, whereas before it was just this like ball of static. Like now, you know, I've set up like a very intense schedule, you know, to finish like business stuff before a certain time of the day, a workout schedule, you know, and then the creative can happen, you know, whenever during the day, like whenever the inspiration strikes, because the other tasks are being managed well, you know, which has been like a big thing for me.
That is huge. Do you know, Chloe, everybody wants to listen to this music. Everyone wants to raise their vibration, get more energized, be more aware, your word, be more aware and feel more drawn into the music. How can we get your music?
If you go to chloedemetria.com, there's going to be a link to my band Vigilant, my other band Zaid, and then my solo work as well.
I think I'm going to listen to that tonight. And you promised me something. You promised me that you were going to show me sound healing and hypnotherapy and how you can use it as to take in post-hypnotic suggestions. And since this is television, we have a demonstration.
All right, well, I brought my singing bowl today. And this singing bowl is going to emit two frequencies. One is a lower frequency at 432, and this actually activates the sacral chakra, which corresponds with your creativity. It's your creativity center. And the higher octave is going to be 2,443. And this actually activates your crown chakra and connects you to consciousness. And by playing these two sounds together, you're going to create a very solid channel of creativity and be able to express it in a very flowy way. So I'm going to just demonstrate here. And actually, I'll just come a little closer to you. How's that? Okay. There's that higher pitch.
And I felt that in a full waking state. I can imagine how much more powerful it would be in the hypnotic trance.
Exactly.
It appears we're out of time for today. Everybody's going to want to know more about sound healing and hypnotherapy. And you can reach Jen Coffin at hmigrads.com. I'm really looking forward to listening to your music tonight. But it appears that we're out of time for today. I want to thank you both for coming and sharing your experiences. I want to thank everybody in the studio audience and those of you who are watching at home. My name is Lisa Mackenberg, and I hope you'll join us next time when we meet more people and find out how they are using hypnosis today. Stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up for you on Hypnosis TV. I got lost.
And create, and I was embarking on making an album with 3 of my projects at that time, and between touring for 3 months straight on maybe little to no sleep every night, I was just really finding it like I was having a very intense case of writer's block. And Jen suggested sound therapy to me. We did several techniques, including singing bowls, tuning forks.
If you've just joined us, I have for my second 2 guests. The first one is Jen Coffin. Now, Jen is an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy, and she has with her her very special guest and client, Chloe. Chloe came in to visit Jen for sound healing and hypnotherapy. Please help me welcome my guests. Chloe, I want to start with you. Tell me what was going on.
Well, I initially went and saw Jen for several reasons. I was feeling like I was having a lot of problems with my creative flow. As an independent artist, I'm constantly touring, I'm doing my own managing, my own booking, and then on top of that, I have to be an artist.
Welcome back to Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using hypnosis to achieve remarkable things.
And just sound immersion therapy. The very first time I did it, we used a crown chakra bowl, and my eyes began watering like profusely. But I guess the long-term effects have been just an increased ability to manage my time. I'm feeling like a lot more energized between my like obligatory